Welcome to Homework Lib.
Over here, what we're going to have is the case of two roommates that are moving a couch, and we're given the direction of each of the forces. The first one is going to be Hannah, that is going to apply a force directly towards the north of 175 newtons. In this case, the coordinate axes are going to be x and y. And Andrea, that is going to be applying a force of the same magnitude, but at an angle equal to 22 degrees towards the east of north with respect to this coordinate axis. We're told as well that we need to find what is going to be the magnitude of the force that would prevent the movement. Because David and Stephanie, that are two other roommates that they're going to have, do not agree with the movement of the couch. So, in order to find the magnitude of the force that would prevent it, what we need to do is find the magnitude of the original force. So, the force due to Hannah and Andrea is going to have a component on x and a component on y. The x component is going to be only due to Andrea, and this is going to be equal to 175 times the sine of 22 degrees, giving us 65.556 newtons. On the other hand, the y contribution is going to come from Hannah plus the y contribution of Andrea. This is going to be 175 newtons plus 175 times the cosine of 22 degrees. This is going to give us 337.257 degrees. Sorry, newtons. And 57 newtons. So that means that the magnitude of the force of Hannah and Andrea is going to be equal to the square root of the x component squared plus the y component squared, which is the square root of 65.556 newtons squared plus 337.257 squared. The magnitude of the force of Hannah and Andrea is going to be 343.569 newtons. Now, if we want to know the direction, we can employ the tangent of theta, and we're going to take the angle with respect to, in this case, the resultant. What we're going to know is that this is going to be a vector on this direction. This is going to be the force coming from Hannah and Andrea, and theta, I'm going to measure it coming from north of east. So the angle is going to be related to the tangent of theta. The tangent of theta is the opposite divided by the adjacent caret, so 337.257 divided by 65.536, which this tangent theta would be equal to arctangent of this result, which gives us 79 degrees. Thus, the force coming from David and Stephanie needs to be directly opposite to this force, David and Stephanie, and what we know is that this angle theta needs to be exactly the same. So over here the drawing doesn't help a lot, so let me try to improve it a little bit. So essentially the force from Hannah and Andrea is going to be pointing in this direction with an angle of 79 degrees, and due to the geometry of the problem we know that this angle needs to be theta as well. So What we know is that the magnitude of the force of David and Stephanie in order to avoid things to move is going to be the same magnitude, but the direction needs to be completely opposite. So the force coming from David and Stephanie is going to have a magnitude of 343.569 newtons at an angle of 79 degrees south of west. And with that, we are done with the problem. We know the direction and the magnitude, even though we were only asked about the magnitude in this case.